Hey Dominic, this is Lori with Soul Sisters Digital Design. Thanks for coming out to Melissa's house last night. I wanted to go ahead and get this video shot for you to show you how your business is stacking up against your competition online, and also to give you some steps that you can take to improve things. So, as Google crawls the web, it is really looking for three things: content, citations, and backlinks. So those are the things that I'm going to be talking about. Now, content refers to the words and images on your site. So Google likes to see between 1,500 and 2,000 words, kind of at a minimum on the page, to give it a good idea of what you do and where you are. The exact amount is going to depend on the competition and also the number of keywords needed. So a keyword is anything someone might type into Google looking for a particular service or product. So let's look at what a Google search might look like. I went to my browser and typed in AC Repair, Lake Helen, Florida, because that is actually how Melissa found you last night. And at the top of the page, well, first you'll see some ads. So sponsored ads, looks like that's you are running one of them. Here's another sponsored ad. But unless there's ads, usually at the top of the page you get this map pack. The top three listed here get the most traffic because this map pack is super easy to use, right? There's a lot of information kind of at your fingertips. You get number of years in business, you get reviews, etc. The way to get into this top three is one, obviously you need to have a Google business profile because that's what it is driven off of. Secondly, you need to make sure that Google business profile is filled out as much as absolutely possible. And the third thing is you want to have your name, address, and phone number listed in as many relevant directories on the web as possible. Those directories, I mean, there's a ton of them out there. Some of them are easy to think of, like Yelp and Yellow Pages. Lots of things can act as directories. But basically, the more times that happens, where your name, address, and phone number appear in these directories in the exact same format, the more power it gives your profile. Because every place you do that is considered a citation. The idea is that your brand begins to be found by Google all over the internet. And the larger that online presence is, the more Google trusts you. Now, below this map pack, you'll see what we call the organics, or not paid listing. And ideally, you want to be in the top three here as well. By being in the top three of both, you see like a 30% increase in traffic to your website. So back to content for a second. I have your website pulled up here. And at first glance, I was looking at it and thought, your content's not too bad. You probably have, I don't know, maybe 1,000 words, somewhere around there. But then I went to plug it into a word counter. And so what I use is this wordcounter.net. And it actually came up with 2,746 words. But when I look at these words, I see that a lot of them are like one-letter foreign language words. And I don't see that on your page. So that kind of tells me that maybe there's some stuff in there that is maybe the same color as the background. That's kind of what we look at as not necessarily a good technique. It doesn't provide useful information to Google. So even though you have all of these words, like you've got 44 instances of the word I, 41 instances of this in with a little tilde on it, none of that is going to mean anything to Google. It doesn't give it any useful information at all. So even though technically you've got 2,746 words, it's not translating to any kind of Google algorithm. So then I look at any website through a tool I have called RFs. When I plug this in here, I can actually see that you're not really getting any traffic at all, but you are starting to pop for about 3 keywords. And if we drill down and look at those, we can see, once it loads, that one of them is Sun City Heating and Cooling. Obviously, that's the name of your business. That's being searched 70 times per month. But even though it's the name of your business, you're in position 58, which Google recently changed how they produce results, and they used to be by page, and every page had 10 results on it. In that old system, you would have been at the bottom of the 6th page, and nobody really goes that far. That's why there's 0 traffic coming from it. For Deltona AC Repair, that's being searched 90 times a month. you're in position 76. So again, like midway of the 8th page. And air conditioning repair, Sun City Center, Florida. That's being searched 20 times, but you're in position 93. So you're way buried like on the 94th page. So those things are not translating to traffic for you, which is why it's not showing up here. Now, in contrast, let's take a look at some of the competitors. So you have this organic result, right? And below that, Ream is actually a, looks like it's a list of best air conditioning and HVAC contractors. Yelp is also a directory. So the top one is this Advanced Air Home Services, and then ameritechfl.com. So I'm going to look at those two. This is the Advanced Air. This is the Ameritech. When I look at them from behind the scenes, I can tell that for Advanced Air and Heat, the Lake Helen is actually a back page. So instead of looking at just that page, let's look at their domain. If I look at advancedailandheat.com, they're actually getting about 266 visitors per month, and that is being driven from 827 keywords. And when I drill down to look at theirs, I can see that obviously that's their name. But let's look at AC Repair Deltona. So that is being searched 100 times per month. They're in position 7 for that. So they're kind of on that first page, right? A little past halfway. Because it's being searched 100 times and they're in position 7, they're getting 6 visits per month just from that keyword alone. And let's also look at Ameritech. So they are getting, again, this is kind of a back page. So let's take a look at their domain, ameritechfl.com. They're getting 1,300 visits per month, and that's being driven from 2,500 keywords. And if we drill down and look at those, some of them are going to be, looks like maybe they've got some blogs kind of things on, maybe some frequently asked questions, but like Orlando HVAC, that as an example is being searched 300 times per month. They're in position 7 for that. So because it's a higher volume and they're in the same position as that other keyword from the other one, but they're getting 18 visits a month for that because it's a little higher volume. But you can see the difference it makes to really appropriately target the keywords that people are actually using. Now, the last piece of the ranking puzzle is what we call backlinks. A backlink is anywhere you would find one website linking to another via clickable or hyperlink text. So these links act like an endorsement of your website from others, which Google uses to build trust in your business by seeing other businesses vouch for you. So it's sort of like a popularity contest where the person with the most wins, but the problem is not all links are created equal. Those relevant to your website are going to count more, so to your industry, as will those that are local. And ideally, you want those links coming from places that are just as powerful in their own right and just as trustworthy. So because someone could potentially have hundreds of links coming in, but they not be from necessarily high quality or high value sites, that's not necessarily going to have an impact on their overall backlink profile. So instead of looking at the actual number of backlinks coming in, I look at these scores. This is a weighted approach, just like Google uses, on a scale from 0 to 100, with a DR score measuring how powerful are the backlinks coming in, and the UR score meaning like how much does Google trust those links. So you're sitting at about a 2.3 versus a 4.9. If we look at the Advanced Air, they're at a 16 and a 0.1. Now there's some disparity here. So the links coming in are more powerful than they necessarily are trustworthy. So that's something that could be beat. And then for Ameritech, they're at a 14 and a 0.3. And again, I really think that the power is coming in because these are more back pages. So they're getting help from all of the other pages. So definitely something that could also be beat. So once all those things come together, the content, the backlinks, and the citations, that's when you begin ranking higher and higher and more customers will find you. I hope this information has been helpful. Would love to hear some feedback on it. If you find yourself wanting to learn more, feel free to reach out. We can help you with some more information and talk about your goals and what might be realistic for your business after doing some research and what it might take to help you reach those goals. Again, my name is Lori with Soul Sisters Digital Digital Design. My number is 352-235-9803. Thanks so much for watching. Look forward to the feedback.